We are in chapter 15. And last time, we have Amanda searching for references for Chrissy. And at the end, we have this little girl who said she can't talk and said get out of the house and all this crazy evil stuff. So let's start with chapter 15, a picture of surprise. Amanda stared at the silent phone in shock. She glanced up to see Chrissy standing in the doorway, her arms folded across her white dress. Is something wrong with the phone? Chrissy asked, a strange smile on her face. No, it's fine, Amanda replied, hanging up quickly. I was just trying to remember someone's phone number. Susie Banton's number, Chrissy asked. Amanda's heart fluttered. No. Was Chrissy about to admit that she had what she had done to Susie? Chrissy crossed to the refrigerator. Your mother told me about your friend Susie. What a shame. Amanda waited for more, but Chrissy just stepped to the cabinet and took out a glass. Amanda hurried down the hall, her mind racing. The girl on the phone had said to get out. What had she found in the Harriman house? Whatever it was, she said it was sickening. What had Chrissy done? Horrifying pictures crowded Amanda's mind. She had to push them out. If she let her imagination run wild, she knew she'd totally panic. She slowed her pace when she got to the room Kyle and Mary shared. Everything okay in there? She called into the room. Yeah, but Chrissy said she was going to bring me a glass of milk. Where is she, Kyle? Kyle called from his bed, where he flipped through a comic book. Mary slept peacefully. Okay, coming right up, Amanda said, turning back. Should she listen to the girl on the phone? Should she get the kids out of the house? Where would they go? Besides, her parents would bring them right back. Her parents would just think that Amanda had gone psycho. No, Amanda decided, it would be better to get Chrissy out tonight. Then she could look for the clippings. Show her parents whatever she found, and hope it was enough to make them see for themselves that Chrissy was evil. Amanda stopped at the kitchen door. It had been pulled shut. Why? She pulled it open a tiny bit and peeked in. Chrissy had a small packet in her hand. She was pouring some kind of brownish powder into the milk. Brownish powder in milk. What could that be? Her heart pounding, Amanda leaned hard against the wall. What did that packet contain? Poison? I can't let Kyle drink that milk, she decided, taking a deep breath. Amanda pushed open the kitchen door. She leaned against the counter and tried to sound casual. So, what have you decided to do on your big night off? I told you, no plans, Chrissy replied. Maybe I'll just stay in my room and write letters. That doesn't sound like fun, Amanda said, trying not to sound desperate. Why don't you go to a movie? That new scary beach movie, Blood Surfer, is playing in town. I hear it's so bad. It's good. No thanks, Chrissy replied with a smile. I hate scary movies. How can people hate scary movies? No thanks. Amanda wrapped her hand around the glass. Let me take it, to Kyle, she offered. After all, it is your night off. Well, I guess so, Chrissy agreed. Sure, sure, Amanda echoed darkly. You'd just love me to get blamed for killing my own brother, wouldn't you? After all, everyone thinks I'm totally nuts now anyway. Thanks to you, Chrissy. I'll just clean up a little in here, Chrissy said pleasantly. Amanda left with the milk, wondering what to do with it. If she didn't give it to Kyle, he'd start screaming that he didn't get his milk. Then Chrissy would just whip him up another poisoned milkshake. Amanda decided to stall until Chrissy went to her room and went out. Then she dumped the milk. As she stood thinking, the doorbell rang. Still holding the milk, she answered the door. It was Dave. Hi, he said, smiling. You weren't in class today, so I brought over the assignments. Were you sick or something? Quickly and quietly, she drew him inside. No, I'm not sick. But I'm glad you're here, she whispered. I'm pretty sure Chrissy has poisoned this milk. She wants me to take it to Kyle and... Whoa, he stopped her. She poisoned this milk? What happened with the knife? Amanda squeezed his arm. You won't believe it. It was the most horrible thing. Dave's hands swept past her, knocking the glass from her hands. It shattered loudly on the wood floor. Oh, man, what a klutz, he cried. His darting glance caused Amanda to turn. Chrissy had just come out of the kitchen. It took Chrissy moments to see what happened. No problem, she said quickly. I'll just get a towel for that. Thanks, Amanda whispered as Chrissy disappeared into the kitchen. That was fast thinking. I'll tell you about the knife later. Do you think you can distract her while I check out something in her room? Show her your car again or something. The more time you can give me, the... Here we go, Chrissy sang out, returning. She stooped and mopped up the milk with cloth. No harm done, she said, gazing up at Dave with wide eyes. Now I'd better get Kyle more milk. The only problem is I think I used the last packet of chocolate. Do you think Kyle will drink it plain? Huh? Amanda gasped. Chocolate? The packet contained only chocolate? Am I getting totally paranoid? Amanda asked herself. Am I totally losing it? She saw Dave staring at her, his expression questioning. I'll get the milk, Amanda volunteered eagerly. So, Dave, how's it going? I love your tan, Chrissy said as Amanda made her way into the kitchen. Very subtle, Chrissy. Why don't you just throw yourself at him? Amanda thought angrily as she opened the refrigerator. Blood Surfer is playing in town? She heard Dave say, I asked Amanda to go, but she says she has to catch up on algebra. You wouldn't want to come, would you? That'd be great, Chrissy replied. I love scary movies, and I hear this one is so bad it's good. Tonight's my night off, too. Do you think Amanda will mind? No, why would she? I'll tell her we're going, Dave said. I guess Dave's taking Chrissy to the movies is the price I have to pay to get her out of the house, Amanda told herself as she poured the milk. It might be pretty dumb to get jealous. I'll go get my sweater up in my room, she heard Chrissy say. Amanda hurried out of the kitchen. Did you have to make a date with her, she whispered. That will give you at least 2 hours, Dave whispered back. Just be careful around her, Amanda warned. Yeah, sure, Dave teased. I won't let her give me any chocolate milk. Chrissy appeared on the stairs. Did Dave tell you, Amanda? We're going to see the movies that you recommended. It's okay, isn't it? Have a good time, Amanda replied flatly. As soon as she heard Dave's car pull away, Amanda hurried up the stairs. "Here's your milk," she told Kyle, stepping into the kid's room. "Oh, he's asleep." She took the book from Kyle's hand. Then she pulled Mary's blanket over her and turned off their light. Back in the kitchen, she called the number of the girl who had hung up on her. Maybe she'll be more willing to talk now, Amanda hoped. But the phone rang and rang. No one picked up. The girl must have gone next door. Sighing, Amanda hung up. "Now let's find those clippings," she murmured out loud. Feeling her heart start to race, Amanda hurried up to Chrissy's room. The blue carpet still contained dark blood stains. When she opened the dresser drawer, Amanda was relieved to see that Chrissy's bloody things had been removed. Still, maroon splotches stained the inside of the drawer. Amanda shuddered at the memory. No news clippings here, Amanda thought. Closing the top drawer, she searched the dresser carefully, one drawer at a time. Only clothing, no sign of the newspaper stories. Amanda opened the narrow closet. Standing on tiptoe, she pulled down a stack of shoe boxes from the top shelf. She opened each box and found shoes. The last box contained a pair of leather boots. Amanda couldn't resist taking a look at them. Lifting one from one tissue paper in the box, she turned the boot over in her hand. At least Chrissy has good taste, she thought. She returned the boot to the box. Amanda saw a corner of faded newspaper peeking out from beneath the tissue lining. Ooh. Excitedly, Amanda lifted the tissue paper. "Yes," she murmured softly. "I found them." Amanda lifted the first clipping. She covered her mouth in complete surprise when she saw the photo next to the article. It was a photo of her own father. All right, so how is Dad related to this? Okay. All right, so let's go. Chapter 16, Lilith. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Just for your own information, I am a YA horror author of the book Vampire Juice. It is a YA mystery adventure that is spooky and creepy like Goosebumps and Fear Street. Has a little bit of teen romance and, of course, vampires. Ooh, look at that. All right, continuing. Chapter 16, Lilith. Struggling to hold her hand steady, Amanda read quickly through the newspaper article. Public Defender John Conklin of Shadyside will defend Arthur Lawrence against a charge of arson. Mr. Lawrence, a homeless man, had been living under the train trestle on the border of Peachton in Harrison County. Last Tuesday, Mr. Lawrence was seen running from the parking lot of a professional building complex on Juniper Street in Peachton. Soon after, flames were seen coming from the law offices of Miner and Henry, which were housed in the complex. Miner and Henry? The name Miner was sort of connection, but Amanda still didn't see how it fit. She continued reading. Mr. Lawrence claimed to be rummaging through the garbage cans when he spotted the smoke. He told the police officer he was running to get help. However, police found empty gasoline canisters at the campsite under the trestle, and so the homeless man was arrested and charged with starting the fire. How did this fit together? Amanda wondered. Why did Chrissy have a clipping about a homeless man Amanda's father had defended? She searched the tissue paper at the bottom of the shoebox. There were more clippings there. But as she reached for one, she heard a car pull into the driveway. Ooh, who is it? Is Chrissy back? She darted to the window and peered down. Dave and Chrissy back already? Chrissy was already climbing out of the car. Now what? Now what? Now what? Amanda froze in panic. She clutched the clippings to her chest. The shoebox were jumbled in a pile on the floor. Now what? Now what? She had to hide the boxes fast. Her heart pumping, she began pitching them frantically into the closet. When they were all in, she shut the door. She heard the front door slam and someone started up the stairs. Chrissy was coming up to her room. There was no way I can get her out of here without running into her, Amanda realized. No way, no way, no way. Clutching the clippings tightly in one hand, Amanda dove under the bed. She bit down on her own other hand to stifle the sound of her heavy breathing. As Chrissy entered the room, "Did I leave the light on?" She heard Chrissy murmur to herself. From the movement of her feet, Amanda could tell that Chrissy was examining the room. Amanda stifled a gasp. A clipping had fallen onto the rug. It wasn't far from Chrissy's foot. Chrissy bit down. She picked up the clipping. Then Amanda heard the closet door open and shut. "Amanda," Chrissy called, walking out of the room. Amanda listened, trying to tell from Chrissy's footsteps and the voice where she was. "Amanda," Chrissy called again. She had made her way down the hall to Amanda's room. This is my chance, Amanda decided. She scrambled out from under the bed and sprinted to the bedroom door. "I've got to get Mom and Dad. I've got to show them these clippings. I've got to show them that Chrissy isn't here by accident." She was so frightened. She couldn't think clearly. Was it okay to leave Kyle and Mary there asleep? She told herself, thinking hard, trying to figure out what to do. They're asleep. I'll be back with Mom and Dad in a few minutes. They'll be okay. Taking a deep breath, she plunged out into the hall. "Hey," Chrissy called angrily. "What were you doing in there? Hey!" But Amanda turned and ran down the stairs. A few seconds later, she was out the front door. "Dave," she cried. "You still here?" When we got to town, Chrissy changed her mind, Dave said, standing on the front lawn. "She didn't want to see the movie, so..." "Dave, let's go," Amanda cried. "Hurry. Dave, drive me to my parents at Beachside Inn." Dave hesitated for only a second. Then he ran with Amanda to the car. His tires squealed as the car peeled out of the driveway. "I have the clippings," Amanda stammered. "I have to show them to my parents. She stopped as one of the clippings caught her eye. Suddenly she grabbed hold of Dave's arm. "Dave, listen to this." She read the news story to him. "Arthur Lawrence, a homeless person, was acquitted today of arson charges in the minor Henry Law Office fire last Tuesday. Mr. Lawrence's attorney, public defender Robert Conklin, has asked that Anton Miner of Peachton to be charged with the crime." "You've lost me," Dave confessed, his eyes straight ahead as the car bounced over the narrow curving road. "Don't you see?" Amanda cried, finally putting some of the pieces together. "This guy, Anton Miner. He must be related to Chrissy. Maybe he's her father. Yes, he must be her father, because the other clippings said he was Lilith's father." "So he's Chrissy and Lilith's father?" Dave asked. "Right. Amanda replied, thinking hard. And my dad had him charged with setting fire to his own office. Dave nodded. I follow you so far. Chrissy has a grudge against your dad because he pressed charges against her father. But that doesn't explain how she can do all those weird things. Amanda struggled to read the clippings in the dim light. You're right. I have no idea how Chrissy's strange powers fit into this. But wait, Dave continued. Didn't you tell me Anton Miner accidentally killed himself and his wife, and that Lilith was in a coma? I still don't see what that has to do with Chrissy. Whoa, I don't believe it, Amanda cried. Huh, what? Dave demanded. Amanda turned to him, an expression of shock on her face. Chrissy is Lilith Miner, she said. Chapter 17. Car Trouble. I just thought I'd share with you. If you like YA horror, here's the blurb from my book, Vampire Juice. Amanda and Sean stumble upon a mysterious can of juice while searching for Halloween costumes at a local store. Despite being kicked out by the sales clerk, they become obsessed with uncovering the truth behind the strange drink. With the help from some local bullies, they sneak back into the store through a crypt in the graveyard, only to find themselves in the midst of a spine-chilling adventure. If that sounds like something you're interested in, my link is in the bio. But let's continue reading One Evil Summer, Car Trouble. Look, the photo with this clipping, Amanda cried, waving a strip of newspaper. It says, it's Lilith, but it's Chrissy. Let me see that, Dave said eagerly. He stopped the car and turned on the interior light. Wow, that's Chrissy all right, he exclaimed, grabbing the clipping from Amanda. But then Dave's expression changed. Wait, didn't you tell me they were twins? Oh, right. Amanda's face fell. How could I have forgotten? But look at this picture. I've seen Chrissy wear that same white dress. She had it on tonight. Twins dress alike sometimes, Dave reminded her. Or maybe Chrissy has her sister's clothes. Amanda covered her face with her hands. I'm totally losing it. I'm not thinking straight at all. Gently, Dave took her hands away from her face. Stay cool. It's going to be all right. You've got this thing almost figured out. Whatever Chrissy's up to, her game is about to end. Amanda suddenly remembered how the first clipping had burst into flames. Could Chrissy do that again? Clutching the clippings tightly, she urged Dave to go on. I have to show these clippings to my parents before something happens to them. I hear you. Let's hurry to Beachside Inn right now, he said. But what if they plan to leave together? You know, go to a restaurant or something. Amanda fretted. Maybe I should call. Tell them I'm coming. Dave's expression turned thoughtful. There's a phone booth on Shanning's Bluff. You can call from there. Okay, hurry. Dave lowered his foot to the gas, and the car squealed away. Amanda hung on the seat as he swung around the curves. Heavy fog rolled up from the ocean. It drifted across the road, making it hard to see. Every few seconds, Amanda checked the clippings in her lap to be sure they were safe. Please be okay. Mary and Kyle, she prayed silently. Please be okay. The Mustang raced into the empty parking lot at Channing's Bluff. Wow, it's like we drove into a cloud, Amanda exclaimed, watching the blanket of thick white mist swirl around the car. One street light cast a hazy glow over the dark parking lot. Dave pulled up next to the phone booth. Do you have a quarter for the phone? Amanda asked. Who remembers a phone booth that cost a quarter? I remember phone booths in our high school. All right. He stared straight ahead. Dave, what's wrong? Amanda asked. Do you see something out there? Slowly, Dave began to sway. His head and upper body moved slowly in a circle. His eyes were wide, as if he were in some kind of trance. Dave, Amanda cried, pounding his shoulder. Dave, why are you doing that? Stop it. Stop it, please. Dave continued to sway, his expression blank, his eyes unblinking. Dave, please, please. Amanda shrieked helplessly. Suddenly, Dave pitched forward. His forehead slammed hard against the steering wheel. Dave, Amanda screamed. She cradled his head with her hands, tried to pull him up, but when she saw his face, she let go. Blood spurted from his nose and mouth, and it flowed from his ears. His head fell back, and he stared at her with wide, lifeless eyes. Susie, Amanda thought. Just like Susie. What can I do? I can't let him bleed to death. Fighting back her panic, Amanda pushed him forward, reached into his pocket, tugged out his wallet. Quarter, she murmured. She fumbled with the zipper of the change compartment, her hand shaking violently. Yes, she cried aloud, gripping the quarter tightly. Desperately, she pushed the car door. It wouldn't open. Was it locked? No. Leaning across Dave's limp body, she tried his door. Stuck. Oh, no. She tried her door again and again. It wouldn't budge. Got to get out. Got to get out, the words repeated like a frantic chant. She searched for something to break the window's glass. With a trembling hand, she popped open the glove compartment. A screwdriver. With all her strength, she began hacking at the glass with the sharp edge. Ah! She screamed in frustration as she pounded away. In the movies, it always looked so simple to break glass. Come on, Amanda. Try harder. She threw her arm into it again and again. Finally, a spider-like crack fanned out from where she'd hit. Okay. The window was giving way. Gasping with each lunge, Amanda hacked at the cracked window glass. No! She stopped and uttered a low cry as a face suddenly leered in at her from outside. Chrissy! Oh my God. Ooh. Chapter 18. Sorry, Amanda. Oh. I just thought I'd share with you my latest a review from Vampire Juice. Here we go. I really enjoyed this book. Easy to read, lots of fun, has a bit of spookiness and humor to it. And then this one cracks me up. My sister bought this book and read it to me at night. I am absolutely in love with the characters, the overall writing. It has perfect attention to detail and kept me on my toes the whole time. Vampire Juice. My link is in the bio. Let's continue reading One Evil Summer. Sorry, Amanda. Chrissy, how? Amanda managed to choke out. The car doors all flew open as if a powerful wind gust had snapped them back. With a cry of terror, Amanda fell onto Dave's limp body. His head bobbed lifeless against the steering wheel. "Oh, Dave," Amanda sobbed, frantically pulling herself off him. In the swirling fog, the light glancing off her hair, Chrissy flowed like a pale, unearthly ghost. She laughed, a raspy, joyless laugh. "Might as well come out, Amanda," she called in a teasing sing-song. "You can't get away from me." Amanda tried to sink lower into the seat, but there was nowhere to hide, no way to escape. Oh my God. This is getting good. Chrissy's evil, pale face drew close. "Come out, come out," she sang in her frightening sing-song voice. Desperate to get away, Amanda tumbled into the back seat, and then a powerful force, strong as a hurricane, began pushing her forward. "No," she shouted, digging her fingers into her car seat. "No." She pushed back until her fingers ached. Then, with a tremendous force, Amanda felt herself being hurled toward the open door. She toppled out of the car onto her hands and knees. And the force, like an invisible hand, pushed even harder. She slid across the pavement through the cold, wet fog, sliding so fast and hard, and then lifting her up, face to face with grinning Chrissy. "What do you want? How are you doing these things? Why?" Amanda demanded, breathlessly, pushing her dark curls out of her eyes. Surrounded by dark fog, Chrissy flowed up onto the hood of the Mustang, her long legs dangling. With her head cocked to the side, she studied Amanda a moment before speaking. "You know, they say people use only a small portion of their brains. Well, I use all of my brain. I can do anything, anything." As if to demonstrate, Chrissy flowed off the car hood, hovering a few inches above it. "Impressive," she laughed. This is starting to sound like Carrie. "I don't believe this," Amanda thought weakly. So I did see her float. "Why are you trying to hurt us?" she blurted out. "Why?" Chrissy echoed Berkeley. "That's easy. Really easy. You know why my father killed himself? Because of your father." "But your father didn't kill himself," Amanda protested. "You told me your family was in an accident." "My father wasn't a man who had accidents," Chrissy replied, sneering. "My father was a great man, a genius. But your father hounded him, had him arrested, ruined his life, ruined all of our lives. Mom's, Lilith's too. Poor Lilith. And so my father tried to spare us. He tried to spare us by ending our lives." "My father was only doing his job," Amanda insisted in a trembling voice. "If that homeless man was innocent, who cares?" Chrissy shrieked. "My father's life was worth more than his. You can't even compare the two. Mediocre little people like your father are jealous of brilliant people. They love to destroy the truly great men like my father." "What happened to those families you gave as references?" Amanda demanded. "Who? The judge and the assistant?" "They got only what they deserved," Chrissy replied cruelly. "And now it's your family's turn." Ooh, what's going to happen? Chrissy slid off the car and began moving through the fog toward Amanda. Run, Amanda commanded herself. Get away, now! But her legs felt as heavy as stone. Let me go. You can't do this to me, she pleaded. It's not fair. Fair, Chrissy shrieked. It's totally fair, Amanda. My mother, my father, my sister, my whole family is gone. And now your family will be gone. But, Amanda sputtered, thinking hard. Imagine that what you could do with your powers, she cried desperately. Why waste your time on us with your powers? You could get rich, Chrissy didn't reply. She raised her arms, and a cold wind whipped around Amanda. Amanda screamed as her feet were lifted off the ground. Stop, Amanda pleaded as the icy wind tossed her around in the air. She flailed her arms, trying to catch her balance. But the powerful wind hurled her toward the car, screaming. Screaming into the roar of the wind, Amanda covered her head, prepared to smash into the fender. Oh! She was pushed into the car. She landed hard in the passenger seat beside Dave's lifeless body. The doors slammed shut. The locks clicked through the windows. Amanda saw Chrissy laughing, enjoying her triumph. Amanda struggled to break out, but a force held her in place. She stared in helpless horror as the emergency brake released. The engine started. Sorry, Amanda, was Chrissy's taunting call. You lose. The car raced forward through the split rail fence and over the steep bluff. Uh-oh. This sounds like a movie. All right. Chapter 19. Sorry, folks. This is the last chapter I'm going to read today. It's called Swallowed Up. Eventually, I'm going to put all these on my YouTube channel. All right. Down into the blackness, Amanda curled into the tight ball covering her head and waited for the crash. The car hit hard, then bounced. She cried out as her head hit the ceiling. Then the car pitched forward. She fell over Dave's bouncing body and then felt herself being jolted again, slammed hard against the passenger door. So hard she felt her breath pour out. In a long whoosh, the car rocked and steadied itself, gasping, struggling, drawing air into her aching lungs. Amanda peered out into the darkness. I'm alive, she thought, dazed. I'm alive. Somehow I'm still alive. But how? She tried the passenger door. It was jammed shut. Amanda stared at Dave and fought back her tears. Poor Dave, she had to do something fast. Reaching over Dave's body, she rattled the driver's door and pushed it open. She stared down at the black, churning ocean 30 feet beneath her. As her eyes adjusted to the darkness, she could see the white foaming lines of the surf, and she could hear the soft roar of the waves. Why hadn't the car dropped into the ocean, she wondered, staring out, her heart still thudding in her chest. And then she remembered the boulders that Dave had pointed out to her, the 3 dark boulders that jutted out from the side of the bluff. The car had become wedged on them, but for how long? The car shifted as some of the rock crumbled under its weight. I have to get out, Amanda realized. She peered down through the open car door. It was long way down to the water. She felt Dave's chest, no heartbeat. He was dead. The car shifted again. Amanda tumbled forward. Maybe I can lower myself onto the top of that boulder, she thought, staring down at it desperately. The cracking rock made the car shift again. Amanda could see that it was about to topple into the ocean. Grabbing the open door, she pulled herself over Dave and slid out and let go. She hit the rock and fell hard onto her shoulder and slid. As the wave of pain rolled over her, she heard a loud cracking sound. Then, staring into the darkness, she watched the car fall and end over and down the remainder of the bluff. It hit the water nose first with a sickening splashing over and crunching metal echoing over the steady rush of the waves. Amanda raised her eyes to the top of the bluff. Was Chrissy still up there? Had Chrissy seen that Amanda had escaped from the car? She swung her legs around and started crawling to the far side of the boulder, peering down below her. She let out a shrill scream as she saw the enormous eye staring at her, and then Amanda started to slip off the boulder. She almost lost her grip as the gigantic face moved toward her, its gaping mouth open wide as if to swallow her whole. Oh my goodness. Whew. All right. We have to do this. All right. I may have to stop. We will see. Just a second. Oh my goodness. This is taking forever. The internet's slow again. Is it going to let me do it? I hope so. The internet. This is frustrating. All right. Let's try it. Go back. I think that's all we can do. Sorry. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, here we go. Oh, no. All right. Well, next time we will be starting chapter 20. And I'd like to thank everyone for watching. And thank you for watching. It'll be on YouTube. And if you also like Vampire Juice, my link is in the bio. Thank you for watching.